Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm JR.
And I'm Adam Harry.
And we're both from the Bell of Lost Souls, and today we are taking a look at the two new Young Adventurers guides. These are two books that are spearheaded by Jim Zub, who is a D&D comic writer and just all-around cool guy.
Yeah.
He's a Canadian, so that explains it. These books are an introduction to the magical worlds of D&D for younger readers. These are a quick guide to everything that you'll need to introduce kids into the game. So let's take a look at them. We'll start with Warriors and Weapons and then move on to Monsters and Creatures.
Sounds like a plan, man. So what is Warriors and Weapons?
Warriors and Weapons is a book that is all about the martial classes in D&D.
Okay.
It is about fighters, monks, barbarians, rangers, rogues, all that jazz.
Yeah.
Even paladins. So you will find, let's take a look at the table of contents here. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit because these are smaller books.
Yep.
Yeah,
these are, by the way, talking about the size of them real fast, these are like paperback size or different size than you would compared to the PHB or the DMG or those type of books. It's about Yeah,
absolutely. It's like the size of one of the larger paperbacks. If you're reading like a big fantasy novel, it's about that size. And as you can see on the table of contents here, you'll get a little quick guide to all of the different races that you can play, including Turtles and Kenku.
Hey. I recognize some of these from some of the non-PHB character races.
Exactly.
So,
and then you'll also get a sample of different legendary characters of each of the different martial classes, including Minsk the Mighty, and Brunor Battlehammer, whose names you might recognize. And then you'll get a chapter that's all on equipment and stuff. And these books are sort of meant to explain what some of the different concepts are.
I like too how the formatting is written more in a conversational tone for the younger readers and stuff like that. It's not as textbook like as say like the player handbook is.
Right. And another thing that I really like is even though this is aimed at younger readers, it is still like a full-fledged book. Like the artwork is amazing in this book, as you guys can see, and they still call out sidebars and kind of talk about everything. And it's like having someone explain the player's handbook in much more, as you said, conversational or easier to understand terms. You don't have to.
Right, it gets the point across in a whole lot less text.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's way more accessible and way more reader friendly than some of the text you might find in the player's handbook or the Dungeon Master Guide. Not to say those are bad, it's just this is a different style and format. Yeah,
this is...
The tone is different.
The tone is way different. It's meant to show younger players, okay, if you're a barbarian, this is what that means. And here's, here are some samples of what they're like.
I also like these questions they ask, too, just to kind of get the players or the new players or younger players into the headspace of, say, like a fighter. Do you like the idea of charging the battle? Are you up front and ready for action? Can you keep a cool head when things get intense? You might make a good fighter. That's a good way to get them in that headspace.
It is a fantastic way to do exactly that. And you'll find just a ton of different examples. So they'll lay out a paladin and then they'll show you what a paladin looks like, that's played the game a while. So you can kind of get an idea or even play them. They have some advice for how to play these characters if you are so interested.
Yeah.
And there, of course, is everyone's favorite ranger and miniature giant space hamster.
Yes, Minsk and Boo.
So
great.
The other thing that is in this book is this handy little flow chart that kind of helps you pick what kind of character you want to play.
I think this chart's really cool because this is actually useful for even older gamers too. If you're a veteran, or you're just teaching somebody that's new.
Yeah, someone
D&D.
with no fantasy or especially
Right.
D&D background. This is a great way to do it.
This is a fantastic way to do that.
But you'll also find a ton of stuff that shows what the equipment and adventuring clothes are. Basically, they want you to be able to picture the kinds of things you're dealing with, so they can tell you what the difference between a short sword and a long sword and a great sword is, besides just the dice that it does.
Right.
It has some cool weapons in here, including the Fang Tianji, which is really cool.
Right.
And basically, it just gives you a good visual guide to kind of... It's like a style guide for D&D.
If you're brand new to D&D, it doesn't matter if you're a younger player or older player. If you're brand new to the game, these are fantastic intros for you. Again, because of the conversational tone, because it's more of a visual style guide, it's going to help you visualize the objects you're going to be messing around with in your head and your imagination as you're playing D&D.
Yeah.
So I think it's great.
Especially like with the different packs, like the Burglar's pack or the Dungeoneer's pack. It tells you what it has and why you'd use them.
Right.
Which is something that you really can't do in the player's guide. Check out this Vampire Hunters pack.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest too, I've been asked point blank, like, what's the difference between the Adventures pack and the Explorers pack, and why would I take one or the other? And honestly, I'm just like, I don't know.
Right.
Look at what the contents are and try to gauge for yourself. Now I can actually show somebody, hey, look at the warriors and weapons, and it'll make sense.
It will. Let's dive into Monsters and Creatures, which is sort of the guide to the monster manual, basically.
And if I'm honest, I think this one's my favorite of the two.
Yeah.
And you'll see why here in a second. Yeah.
All right. So we're diving into the different caverns and dark places sections. So they've broken them up. I wanted to go back to the table of contents.
Sure.
They've both broken them up by different terrain types, like where you might encounter them. So that, again, they're already sort of setting the stage.
Right.
And then here we're taking a look at one of the first ones here. We've got the Carrion Crawler. There's your classic Carrion Crawler artwork. Yeah. It talks about what they do, and then it says, "Do this if you're fighting it. Don't do this."
Yeah. I love this book for this format right here. These pages that explain, for instance, the flump. Like, these things, if you're brand new to D&D, these will give you, again, it's not a textbook. It's more like, hey, I'm at the tavern, and I'm talking to the old ranger in the back, and he's telling me, oh, did you ever run into a mind flayer? Well, here's what they're like, and here's what to do and what not to do when you fight them. Did you ever go down and walk into don't fight the Demogorgon.
Yeah,
you find the Demogorgon. Do run away. Don't fight. Sorry. But it's stuff like that. The conversational tone of this series really shines, I think, in this book particularly.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this is such a very characterful guide, as you say. And you could probably even make like a campaign about this, where you just have an older adventurer telling a group of younger heroes, like, all right, this is the monster that you're dealing with. Yep. I've got some advice for you.
Yeah, oh, you need to fight some cloud giants? Check this out. Cloud giants are known for this, this, and this. Watch out for these things. Good luck, have fun.
And they don't pull punches like skeletons and vampires and like other dead things are here. It's not like it's not watered down or made safe. They have a mix of high and low level monsters here.
They actually have a really cool icon system here, kind of its own visual language here to kind of explain the danger, and it's basically 1 through 5.
Yeah.
They even have Strahd, which is cool. But he's clearly a 5. He's
clearly a 5.
And I think they even go up from there if you run into some of the bigger big bads.
The big bads.
It can go
like Demogorgon.
Yeah.
Or the different dragons.
Yeah, 3 through 5, and then on up from there. So
sweet.
But it's just a really cool, like, Tiamat, epic. Like, not even a number. Yeah, I really like the way they did this book with, again, that conversational tone. This is just a fun book. I think even if you're a veteran, like DM,
you'll still enjoy it.
Yeah, you'll definitely enjoy reading through that.
You'll also find different ideas for things that you can do with the monsters instead of running them as just bags of hit points.
What I really like too about this book is if you're ever, say you're the DM and you need to come up with a description or explanation about a monster, you can just do this instead of like fumbling through like the monster manual and trying to like explain for it. You could use the descriptions here in that tone.
They're so rich and so flavorful. It is like a monster soup, but one that you will enjoy eating.
Yeah.
Both of these books are out now. They're in your friendly local gaming store, or you can find them in bookstores or online. They're well worth checking out. There's at least one more, possibly 2 more coming later this year in November. So keep an eye out for more news on that. But in the meantime, I'm JR.
I'm Adam Harry.
We're both from the Bell of Lost Souls.
Thanks for watching. Click to subscribe. Check out more videos. And thanks for watching.